Just a case of trying to get out there and play golf.
You don't get in as many events as you think. There's only a certain amount of spots in the tournament.
To be 18 years old and thrown out on tour,
it means so much to me. It's places that I've always dreamt of.
The first 2 rounds is the best I've ever played.
It's a hard environment to be in.
This is all I've wanted to do, is play golf. There's just no time for anything else. It's just golf or nothing, really. You put all the work in, you should get something out of it, if you believe in yourself. I'm just packing today for my first event so next week's my first event in Joburg, so I'm just getting all my stuff ready. It's more just like the anticipation of not being able to get into my first couple of events and just sort of waiting around and sort of practicing. I've been in Dubai for the last couple of weeks, just trying to get the game ready, really. So yeah, now the time's finally can get all the stuff together. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I think it's been nice to be able to practice for a couple of weeks and sort of just get ready for it, really, because I haven't been able to get into the tournaments. It's been quite motivating to so now I get into a tournament, I want to do well to try and push forward, really. So looking forward to it. You think you get your card at the Q school, but it's not as easy as people think, obviously. You don't get into every event, so yeah, you just got to be patient and just take it as it comes and try and make the most of it.
It's a funny one because you go to the school and you get a card and the rest of it, but obviously it depends where you are in the rankings. I think he'd finished 17th in the first year, so it was you're not really going to get that many starts in the big events at the start of the year. Everybody seems to be wanting to play now, so the opportunities become sort of more and more limited.
I'd say one of my biggest shocks was getting my DPO Tour card and then realising that you don't get in as many events as you think, because obviously, if all the best players in the world want to play in a tournament, there's only a certain amount of spots in the tournament for them to play. Sometimes we don't know if we're going to get into tournaments. There's only 150 players in the field, but obviously there's 125 people who keep the card from the year before, so there's very limited spots. There's weeks that I plan to go and play and then I don't quite get into it because I might be third reserve and it's top 3 reserves go and practice, and then I could play 3 or 4 practice rounds and then not get into the tournament.
Obviously, those opportunities then seem to go by, and he was reserved for a lot of those events coming up. But he was great about it. He just said, "I'm ready to play and ready to go," and whenever I'm sort of called upon. So again, just down to his old attitude is fantastic, really. He didn't let it beat him up. He just kind of got on with it and accepted it, and just said, "I need to be ready for when I do get the call."
This year's looking like I'm going to be away for a lot longer. I think I'm going to be travelling the world a lot more this year. So, previous years, I think, especially in amateur golf, you're always just in Europe or England, England and Scotland mainly. George is going to be with me for my first event as a pro, which is nice. It's nice to have my friend on the bag, sharing the first memories together. So that'll be nice. And yeah, it's important to have him there because we know each other well, and it's obviously going to be quite nerve-wracking for my first event, so it'd be nice to have someone to keep me calm on the bag when I'm out there. I wouldn't say I've got any expectations for my first event, to be fair. I think because it's my first one, I just want to sort of go there and see what it's like. But as a position I'm aiming for, I just want to make the cut and play the weekend and finish as high as I can to have a taste of pro golf, and then take it from there, because there's a lot of events in the year. So yeah, I just want to take it one week at a time, and no expectations really, just play as well as I can. Yeah, I'd say last year my plan was definitely to play both DP World Tour and Challenge Tour, because I think my first year I was playing as much as possible. I was so focused on getting experience.
I kind of made him aware quite early that he would be playing some Challenge Tour events, and that that it wouldn't be a bad thing for him. The Challenge Tour is tough. It's a hard environment to be in. The benefits of obviously playing on the Challenge Tour is it would have just given him status. If he finished the top 45 on that, you guaranteed your card for for the following year, and you get every Challenge Tour event then. So it's about getting playing opportunities. That's a huge part of what we're trying to do at the minute. Really, is just give him opportunities to play on a tour.
The first event in Joburg was great because I've watched the course on TV and I watched all the highlights of it. So it was really surreal to go and play it. Hearing the starter that you hear every week on TV and announce your name, I think that's a really cool moment. So I took a few extra practice swings. It's really hard, so you've just got to accept what happens and just do your best.
So a debut event for Joshua Berry. He hasn't made the cuts, but he'll be pleased to have his first professional start under his belt.
It means so much to me, like travelling the world, seeing some of the places is absolutely amazing. It's places that I've always dreamt of. You get onto the 13th green and you're overlooking Kruger Park and you've got the elephants, the crocodiles, the giraffes, everything there, and it's just amazing. I remember on the 11th hole, we was in the tournament and about 15 monkeys just run across the fairway, and it makes you realise how lucky you actually are.
Yeah, the experience is amazing. Like in South Africa, you're going on the safaris and seeing all the animals up close. It's amazing. And India, you're seeing all the culture, and every week's different. I love it. Like playing different golf courses and seeing all the world. It's amazing.
Yeah, his best result on the tour would have been Kenya, so that was quite early, obviously, in the season as well. So there was an element of us that thought, yeah, he's going to kick on and start getting some consistency in there.
Kenya was a great tournament last year. I think it was one of our first tournaments on the DP schedule. I think I came 23rd in the end.
So an impressive top 25 finish for Joshua Berry. His best result of the year so far. He'll be looking to build on this momentum in the coming events.
It was a good eye-opener to know that I can finish high up there, and even that week I knew I didn't have my best golf, but I know that I can still play well in the biggest tournaments.
He's gone to Kenya, he's had a great result, top 25. You're kind of thinking hopefully we can kick on now, and the following 2 weeks were down in South Africa, and because the co-sanctioned events, he didn't get into either.
And Josh Berry's name missing from the start list again. It must be so frustrating for the youngster.
Every sort of time he was an opportunity where he could start trying to build some consistency, he ended up then obviously having to play Challenge Tour or whatever that may be.
I think it was March, April time. It was the Investec South African Open, and I was first reserve on Monday. And first reserve on Monday, you usually get into the tournaments, but it's the hilliest and the longest golf course of the whole year, and me and my caddy played 3 practice rounds, and then we was first reserve for the tournament and didn't get in. Yeah, I think it is frustrating not getting into tournaments, especially if you've travelled or planned to go and then you don't quite get into it, but I think it definitely motivates you for the next one that you do get into. I would say my best tournament was the Abu Dhabi Challenge Tour event. The first 2 rounds is the best I've ever played. The second round in particular was definitely the best I've ever played. I felt like I didn't really miss a shot because I was playing the practice round and it was such a hard course. I was thinking like 10 under's going to win this, and I think I was 15 under after 2 rounds and even 15 or 16 after 3, so it was definitely some of the best golf I've played.
Yeah, UAE Challenge, he started great. First couple of days he was leading the tournament. He was still going strong on Saturday, and then just had a couple of holes where he made a couple of mistakes and basically played his way out of the lead.
Yeah, I was up there and then it sort of went down a little bit, but the course was really hard, and I think I finished about 20th in the end.
He'll have learned from that. It's a big learning curve. He made mistakes, and he'll learn from it anyway. So again, he's taken the positives from what a lot of people could deem as a negative. But I fully believe that it's probably done him good. That would have been the standout performance for me of the season. Really, he had some decent results as well outside of that on the main tour. But again, it's just the consistency wasn't there really. But I think that was probably just due to not being able to prepare properly, because we didn't know which tournaments he was going to get into till quite late on, and probably playing too much. But it was just a case of trying to get out there and play golf and experience as much as you can. I think he played 12 in a row at one point, which was which probably took its toll.
37 weeks of golf is a long time, especially mentally as well. So there's a lot of stuff in there, like especially the travelling, like 10-hour flights and all the jet lag, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday preparing for tournaments, and then if you didn't make the cut, then I'd be grinding for the next week, and then I've got to travel to the next week as well. So it's just trying to do my best every week. Like I was even trying to win every week, but it's just, that's not the case in golf. It's really hard. So you've just got to accept what happens and just do your best.
It's such a hard thing to be 18 years old and thrown out on tour, and that's a massive part of a young golfer's sort of struggle, is to actually believe that they belong when they're playing against these, you know, these tour pros that have been on tour for years, and to actually stand and, you know, go toe to toe with these guys it's a really, really hard thing to do. The standards of professional golf, it's crazy. It's just crazy how good and consistent these guys are, you know.
I think even in amateur golf, like the standard's really high. You can't make many mistakes at all. And even if you do, you've got to then compound on it and make birdies to compensate, because the cuts every week are always under par, so there's not much room for error.
I think he had a lot of pressure on him. It was just tough.
It's not easy to get on, and it's not easy to stay on, so then a lot of uncertainty doesn't help that, you know.
It's a lot less friendlier, because I was sort of in like no man's land.
He was just a bit emotional.
It's like all or nothing really, so it's hard decisions.